All right, chapter 3 of the book is Don't Get Married Unless You Have Prayed. And perhaps I should have put this as the first chapter, but I still wanted us to understand the world's perspective and understand God's perspective first of marriage. But before you go out looking for a spouse, or when you know what you are looking for in a spouse, you ought to pray for that. And this doesn't mean that once you meet somebody and you go out for a couple of drinks or dinner or something, and you hang out and you date for a little bit, and then you sleep together, and then you ask God, is this the one? You should be asking God for what you want specifically. I remember I first prayed to God that he send me a Christian woman. And that can be vague, because just because she's a Christian woman doesn't mean that your personalities mesh well together. And so I dated a woman for a little bit, and it just did not work. And then I got more specific about my prayers, and I asked God to send me a woman. Of course, I had to specify, say, hey, if you could, if she's like 5'2", 5'3", because I'm only like 5'5", so I want to be a little taller than her. And so my wife, I remember I prayed specifically for what I wanted, and it was about a year later, had totally, forgot about what I had, prayed for. And then God sent her to the church. Like, she just walked in. This was before I was a preacher. This was before I was a deacon. I was in the back room. I worked in the AV room, and I saw her walk into church. Yes, I was lusting at the church. I'm sorry. I'm telling you the truth. I was, because she was and is fine. She's gotten better with time, like a fine wine. So she's just aging remarkably, and I love it. But I remember I saw her. I didn't know her never met her, didn't know her name or anything. And I told the other person in the AV room with me, like, that's going to be my wife. I was just kind of joking, but I talked to her. We connected, and then we started dating, and we just meshed well together. And so then, of course, when she checked off all of those boxes that I was looking for, that I prayed for, of course, I said, well, this is the woman that God has bought for me, because it's everything that I prayed for. And she has been more than everything that I prayed for. I even call her my answered prayer, because she's more, and because God can do above and beyond anything we can ever think or imagine. He gave me more than I ever thought I can imagine with her, including 2 beautiful children. So it's been a blessing. It's been a journey, but I prayed first. And not only did I pray for my spouse, I continue to pray with her and for her as we grow in our marriage. So we have to understand that prayer is our most powerful tool, especially against the enemy, especially against any of the things that can come up around us, because temptation is everywhere. Let's be honest. My wife, I love my wife. She's fine. I only have eyes for her. But I'm still a man. I've seen other attractive women. She's still a woman. She's seen other attractive men. Temptation is all around us. But we have committed to stay together. We continue to pray together. We continue to pray that God keep our union solid. And he has done just that. And it has been a blessing. We are coming up on our 13th year anniversary. It's her year to pick the place, because she does the odd years, because she always does something odd on those years. And it always seems that the kids got to be involved. I love my wife, but my anniversary is supposed to be for us, babe. But it's always a fun time, especially when we went to Disneyland a couple years ago before the pandemic, and I messed up my ankle and needed surgery and was down for 4 months. Pray for your wife. Pray for me.